All right, let's talk business. Today, we're going to strip it all down to the absolute essentials. We're diving into the fundamental blueprint, the core design that really separates the companies that thrive from the ones that just fizzle out.
So, what does it really take? I mean, we always hear about these genius founders or these incredible game-changing products, but what's going on underneath all that? What's the actual engine that takes a company from just a cool idea to a lasting institution? The best way to get your head around it is to stop thinking of a business as just a building or a website. Think of it as a machine, a really complex, high-performance machine that's been designed for a very specific purpose. And just like any amazing machine, it doesn't just pop into existence. Nope. It needs a detailed blueprint. So for the next few minutes, we're going to walk through that exact blueprint, the strategy, the operations, and of course, the people who power the whole thing.
Okay, first things first. Every great machine starts with a plan. This is what we'll call the management blueprint. It's kind of like the architect's drawing that lays out exactly what our business machine is supposed to do, how it's going to be built, and what winning actually looks like.
And right at the heart of this blueprint, you've got these 4 core functions. Seriously, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, a manager's job always boils down to these 4 things: planning where you're going, organizing all the stuff you need to get there, leading the team, and controlling the whole process to make sure you don't go off the rails.
And this work is spread out across what we call the management pyramid. Up at the top, you've got executives thinking way out into the future, like 1 to 5 years from now. In the middle, managers translate that big vision into actual plans. And then, down on the front lines, managers are directing the day-to-day work that makes it all happen. See? Different timelines, but they're all working off the same blueprint.
Now, to know where you're actually headed, you need 2 critical guides. A vision statement, that's your North Star, right? It's the big aspirational dream of what you want to become. But the mission statement, that's more grounded. It's all about, why are we even here today? What's our purpose right now? You absolutely need both, the dream for tomorrow and the reality of today. But look, a great strategy isn't just wishful thinking. It has to be built on a serious reality check. And that is exactly what a SWOT analysis is for. It forces you to take a hard look inward at your strengths and weaknesses, and then look outward at the opportunities and threats in the market. It gives you a brutally honest picture to build from.
A blueprint is pretty useless if you can't actually build from it, right? That's where SMART goals come into play. They're what turn those big, vague ambitions into concrete action plans. By making sure your goals are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound, you create these super clear targets that everyone in the company can actually aim for.
All right, with the blueprint designed, it's time to get our hands dirty and build the engine. This is the operational core of the business, the factory floor, whether that's a literal factory or a digital one, where all those plans finally become a reality. At its core, production is actually, it's pretty simple. You take inputs, things like materials, labor, knowledge, you run them through some kind of transformation process, and out the other side you get your outputs, the finished product or service that your customers want. Every single business, I don't care if it's a winery or a software company, follows this exact same flow.
And the search for making that transformation process more efficient? Well, that's been going on for a long time. We went from using machines instead of people, to standardizing parts, to the game-changing assembly line, and then on to automation and mass production. Every single step was a massive leap forward in making that engine run faster and more reliably.
How you physically arrange your workspace is also a huge piece of the engine's design. A product layout is that classic assembly line we all picture. A process layout is where you group similar tasks together, kind of like in a hospital. And then you have a fixed position layout, like when you're building an airplane. The product's way too big to move, so the workers and tools have to come to it.
Of course, a great engine has to be reliable too. That's what quality assurance is all about. And it's a really fundamental shift in thinking. Instead of trying to catch mistakes at the end of the line, you design your processes to prevent them from happening at every single stage. You're building quality in, not just inspecting for it later. It's a game changer.
Okay, so we've got the blueprint, we've built the engine, but a machine doesn't run by itself, does it? It needs power. And in business, that power, it comes from people. This is the heart and soul that makes the entire machine roar to life.
So, finding the right people. It starts with this basic choice in recruiting. Do you promote from within? That's awesome for morale, and you already know what you're getting. Or do you hire from the outside? That brings in fresh ideas and new skills. Honestly, the healthiest companies find a really good balance between the two.
And once you have your team, they need leadership. Transactional leaders are absolutely essential for keeping the machine running smoothly day to day. They clarify roles, manage performance, you know the drill. But transformational leaders, they're the ones who inspire people with a vision. They push the whole organization to evolve and do amazing things. You really, really need both.
But for any of this to actually work, for people to show up and bring their A-game, there's one ingredient that is completely non-negotiable: psychological safety. It's that core belief that you won't get punished or humiliated for speaking up with ideas, asking questions, or even admitting you made a mistake. Without that, forget it. Innovation and honest feedback, they just can't exist.
And you don't just flip a switch and get this kind of safety. It's built in stages, like climbing a ladder. It starts with inclusion safety, where people just feel like they belong. Then comes learner safety, that freedom to ask questions and not feel dumb. Next up is contributor safety, where you feel empowered to actually offer your own ideas. And the top level? That's challenger safety, feeling safe enough to question the way things are done and push the whole team to get better.
Now, leading people to that highest level of trust, that requires a ton of emotional intelligence, or EQ. It's all about being aware of your own emotions and keeping them in check, staying motivated and having the empathy and social skills to really understand and connect with other people.
And when it comes to leadership, look, the research is just undeniable. As Daniel Goleman's work showed us, technical skills might get you the job, but it's a high degree of emotional intelligence that truly separates the most effective leaders from everyone else. It is the ultimate differentiator. So, as we wrap this all up, it becomes pretty clear that success in business isn't about being a master of just one of these areas. I mean, you can have the most brilliant strategy in the world, but if your operational engine is a clunker, you're going nowhere. And you can have a perfect engine, but without motivated, engaged people, it's just going to grind to a halt.
It all comes back to our machine metaphor, doesn't it? Real, lasting success is all about the seamless integration of all three parts: the blueprint of your strategy, the engine of your operations, and the heart of your people, all working together as one cohesive, powerful machine.
And that brings us to a really critical question for the future. As AI and automation continue to transform how we work, which of these uniquely human skills, empathy, vision, the ability to create psychological safety, which of those will become the most valuable assets of all? That's the real challenge for the leaders of tomorrow. Thanks for diving into this with me.